The next function is management. And this is where planning is. This is where the people of a company and the systems of a company intersect. You manage systems. You cannot manage people. People are unmanageable. So we manage systems. But we affirm people. People need affirmation. Now, obviously, there's several functions to management. Normal things that we think of, like the normal HR stuff, which is hiring, firing, coaching, training, inspection, all of that kind of stuff. That's classic management. But then there's also resource allocation and implementation. So when leadership says to management, "This is what we're going to do," it's management's job to figure out how to take all the different resources available and put them to best use and get that stuff done. See, so leaders say what and how, and managers say, who, what, where, when, how. They're the ones who really work out the details. One of the things that we have with systems is, of course, standardization. We're always cultivating best practices. And that's got to be firmly entrenched in the bones of your business, that you're always looking for the best practices. And finally, documenting. If you ever walked into a McDonald's, you could probably walk into their shop and they've got these huge series of manuals. And even if you've never been back behind the counter, if you can read, you can figure out how to make French fries just because they have everything documented down to a T. And so what you want to do is create standard operating procedures so that when you hire people, their learning curve is shortened. They have the resources to find out their own answers and learn it and these kinds of things. And remember, standardization is key. Because why? People want more of the same but different. They don't want momentary brilliance. That'll just frustrate them. And there you go. There's McDonald's. I mean, nobody I've ever talked to said they can't cook a better hamburger, but nobody I've ever talked to said, "Yeah, I can do that a million times a day." No, it takes standardization to do that. Operations. Finally, we're getting down to the point where we can actually do something. What is the purpose of operations? It is to profitably create value for clients. Now, why do I say that? Because it really doesn't do the business any darn good whatsoever if you create value for clients but don't create profit for your own company. That's a lose-win situation and you're going to be out on the street. If you profitably make stuff but you don't create value for clients, well, they're not going to come back, and again, you're closing the shop up. So the only way to create a sustainable business is to profitably create value for clients. It's got to be win-win. There's 4 parts of this. Productivity. Obviously, you got to satisfy the client's needs. This is actually doing what they want the way they want it done. Innovation. All right, now this goes back to see how we're starting to integrate marketing with operations, is because with innovation we're creating future value so that we can expand on our current customers and get them to try new things. Efficiency. All right, now this is part of an internal process of streamlining. And just like we're always looking for best practices in management, this is where that marries with operations. So we're always looking for efficiency. And then finally, we want to focus. If we can outsource something, if we find an affiliate or a joint venture company that it really can do a better job of it than we can, then by all means, let's focus on what we do and do it brilliantly. Let other people do the other things. Finally, we get to the core, the profit center. This is your command and control center. Now remember, no margin, no mission. This is where you have to provide leadership, and that means you point the way. You've got the compass and you say, this is where we're going, guys. And management says, okay, well, now this is how we're going to get there. We're going to have rowing classes and we're going to have sail mending and all this kind of stuff. It's like being on a ship. You're the captain of the ship. You're big picture, you're broad brush. By definition, you're more of a strategic thinker versus a tactical thinker. You're looking 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, a year out. whereas management's looking, 2 days, 5 days a week, maybe a month out. Another one that most people don't talk about is when you are the entrepreneur, it's relationships. Because the one thing that's universal, and I don't care what kind of company it is, you've got people. And people are, if you don't have people, you've got no business. It doesn't matter. And so the better the leader, the better the entrepreneur, the better they're going to be able to build meaningful relationships with everyone. And we're talking vendors, lenders, customers, employees, everyone. And of course, the famous quote by Michael Gerber of E-Myth fame is, "You work on the business and not in the business." And this is how, in the four quadrants, this is where in the four quadrants you get consumed. Whereas in the command and control center, yes, you're orchestrating things, but you're not sucked into them. This is a new way of thinking about business. And just as a round wheel on your car rolls very smoothly, it's your job to make sure that all of the pieces work together smoothly and harmoniously. And the only way you can do that is by staying in the center. Because if you gravitate towards the outside, you're going to get sucked in, and all of a sudden, by definition, anytime you're in one of those quadrants, you are neglecting the other three. The only way you can do justice to the entire business is to stay in the center. This is a great tool for you to use. I highly encourage you to share it with your employees, with your partners. I've found that people have tremendous ahas with this. It's very simple, but it's really powerful. And this is just another layer that actually goes far deeper, and we'd be happy to show you that, and that's part of the Executive Plus program. This is Eric, and I hope you have a great day. Take care.